Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships. I do apologize for the delay in videos that I want to say I've been busy, but yeah, it pretty much comes down to being busy. I am trying to at least make some videos, trying to at least make some content for you guys because I really do appreciate you guys' support. So here is a replay in the Tier 8 Russian DD, the Ognevoi. And it's actually my third time going up the line. And I have to say, oh my word, the Ognevoi. I remember first playing it and actually enjoying it. I didn't think it was that bad, but it's been a while, obviously, since I first played it. There's been a lot of new ships that have been added, including new DDs, and the Ognevoi is not really a ship that is very good against other DDs. I'm not saying it's terrible, but it's pretty bad. Only has 2 turrets. The guns don't fire very fast. So you're definitely not a gunboat. You're only more suited as a torpedo boat. But even that, you kind of struggle because your detect is at 6.1. And your torpedoes are really slow. They're very, very slow. They do have a decent range, 10 kilometers. That's not the worst thing in the world, but they do and are incredibly slow. Now, the reason why I'm showing off this replay, besides the fact that I'm showing off the Ognevoi again, is this division. As you can see in the left-hand side, we have a 3-man division, all in DDs, in the Benson, Kidd, and Lo Yang. And as you can see, they're all wolf packing into A. And yeah, normally whenever I play divisions, for the most part, you never all want to go in a single class when playing a division. Usually you want that flexibility with different classes, saying, for example, 2 battleships and a cruiser, or battleship and 2 cruisers, or battleship, destroyer, cruiser. Something along the line where you kind of have a little bit of a balance that would help dealing with the enemy team. Now, 3-man division, playing the same class, there are times. I mean, especially if you want to have fun. I don't blame you. I mean, I've gone with 3-man division playing Leon, playing 3-man Leon, and that's a lot of fun. But at the exact same time, the other players may be trying to win, trying to actually grind and whatnot. So it's kind of a hit and miss. So I kind of understand why they did it. So yeah, I mean, they're at least doing some good deeds right now. They do take out the enemy cruiser down there. And for the most part, we are very, very heavy on the Western Front, even though technically I believe we're even stronger here on the Eastern Front, because they have an Amagi, Bismarck, Edinburgh, and a sneaky destroyer, which I'm not going to say what's what. But at the exact same time, there is a destroyer in at B currently capping us out. And this is where I'm going to criticize the wolf pack the most. Is someone points out, I think here in just a little bit, and there we are detected by the Kagero. I do hold my fire because the Kagero is the one detecting me, and obviously it's no point in opening up, only getting a few shots and still be spotted by the Amagi. But watch this 3-man division coming from A. Now keep in mind, we had very good control in A. The enemy forces were very far back. They weren't really doing anything. Of course, I can't see because the view range on the Ognevoi isn't particularly great. I think it's around 15 kilometers, something like that. So obviously there's not real way to see actually like the health is going on right now. So can't really say as far as that. Obviously that Kagero is still around. I am at least attempting to prevent him from really doing much more. He doesn't want to open up, which, I mean, I don't really blame him, but actually the Kagero guns can hit pretty hard, so you could have taken a shot. I personally don't want to push down. There is a Bismarck down that way. The Amagi here is burning down quite heavily, but as you can see, the entire 3-man division are all rushing back towards B, and just keep an eye on them throughout this match, because it's something that just it's annoying. There's no need for all three to completely abandon their side and rush back towards B. 1 or 2 probably would have been sufficient to do that. 1 at the very least would have been fine. But obviously they are all rushing back, which allows the enemy team to actually start to push in. You can kind of see it occur because they do have 2 Tirpitz, I believe. They have a Tirpitz B and a regular Tirpitz. So they do have battleships that are capable of pushing in, getting that close quarter battle, which is what they prefer. Obviously now with the fact that the friendly destroyers are all rushing back towards B, there is nothing preventing those battleships from actually pushing into our battleships. There, the Kagero is once again spotted, is smoking up. Probably could have taken a shot, honestly. And basically, I'm doing my job. This is what a destroyer really needs to be doing right now, is essentially being a pest to the enemy destroyer, prevent them from really doing anything for their team. Obviously, I would love to take him out, but once again, the Ognevoi is not particularly great. Fortunately, it is a Kagero I'm facing and not any other destroyers, especially the French destroyers, which are actually terrifying for the Ognevoi because they're a lot faster than you, and their DPM is much significantly higher. So right now, our friendly destroyers, our 3-man division, have fully taken back B, and now they're out hunting the lone destroyer. Now I'm trying to actually see which destroyer it is. I believe it's a Z-23 up there, one of the Z-23s. They had 2 of them. So, so they're actually going to try to chase this down, which, once again, it's kind of a good thing because that does prevent any destroyers kind of lingering in the background, causing any issues. I currently am trying to push towards this Kagero, try to provide spotting. I will actually give a shout out to this Megami, so kind of keeping an eye on him. He does a really good job in this battle. So yeah. As you kind of start seeing it right now, we're gonna start losing ships on the western front. Now, we're in actually a really good position. We have we had 3 caps. We have a major point lead. We have a ship's lead. So things are looking good, even though that the enemy friendly destroyers have completely left that flank. But as you can see, now the Tirpitz B is starting to round the corner, and this is kind of where it's really good at. It does even have a support with another Tirpitz. Obviously, Tirpitz has torpedoes, so it does have that potential close quarter, high alpha damage. And this is where kind of things go wrong, because now the battleships on our side either have to push up to prevent them from either torping or citadeling them, showing their broadside to the enemy team, or deal with torpedoes coming from the Ognevoi and the Z-23 that are still down there. And there we go. We lost our North Carolina. Our Cleveland actually was very smart, got into a different position, obviously to prevent himself from being focused down by the enemy battleships. Now we did get capped out by the Edinburgh. Right there, he is in that smoke screen. Obviously, Edinburgh, not particularly a cruiser I would like to see. My best hope is to at least minimize damage by not showing a lot of broadside and keeping my bow in. But at least I'm going to try to support. We do have a Monarch Over on our side, we are hydroed. And let's see. I actually do have a mod on, and it's actually not too bad. It does basically give you a rough idea of how long you've been hydroed. So it's kind of useful. Obviously, with the fact that he is hydroing us, any attempts on torpedoes is going to allow him to obviously dodge. Now he's being aggressive because it is Edinburgh. It does have torpedoes, and the Monarch's not really in position. Now I can't really drop torpedoes towards that Monarch. Obviously, don't want to cause any potential damage towards them. Now I could have dropped those torpedoes a bit better. Unfortunately, I kind of lined them all up in a row. That was kind of silly of me. Looking back at it, I should have obviously fired the first set more forward and fired the second set further back. So even though when he slowed up, he would have caught at least possibly a few torpedoes. Obviously now I am afraid that the Edinburgh might drop torpedoes. That's why I'm trying to at least keep bow in. But in fact, it does look like he is focusing on the Monarch with its torpedoes, which is very, very beneficial because I do manage to knock out his starboard torpedoes, and there we go. Edinburgh goes down. Now, the entire time this has been going on, the 3-man division there have finally taken out the enemy destroyer, which is, once again, kind of a good thing because that does mean there's not a destroyer in the background causing havoc, but it does mean that the enemy team now can start being aggressive on the Western Front and start pushing towards our B cap. Now, we have managed to at least start to take back D, which is definitely going to help us in our points. It's going to at least keep us on the same footing as the enemy team as far as points coming in, which is essentially our saving grace in this battle. Because obviously due to the fact that now the friendly Bismarck that actually has been sitting almost all the way in the back for the majority of this battle is now being focused down by the enemy turbots. The enemy team still has 4 battleships. They still have all of their tier 8 battleships. There goes our Bismarck. So they have an advantage. They also have 2 of their DDs. I mean, granted, we have all 4 of ours, but they do have support there as well, which is beneficial for them because obviously they do have those very healthy battleships. I'm actually very curious how much health they have. There's the enemy Kagero. That Kagero really has traveled. He was last spotted over at HG9. So definitely been kind of just motoring his way all the way up to D. And honestly, I haven't had that great of a battle. I've only done 14,000 points of damage, which isn't particularly great. Now, one good thing about Ognevoi torpedoes is the fact, and I know this sounds very contradictory, but they're actually surprising slow. The benefit of this is it can catch enemy players off guard because of how slow they are. So you have a little bit more time, especially like for this instance, this Bismarck that is coming around this island up in front. Due to the fact that the torpedoes take so long, it does allow them time to actually start to at least catch up. Fortunately for us, we do spot the Mogami's torpedoes that were dropped. Fortunately, that warning was sufficient enough timing to do that. But unfortunately for our torpedoes are going to miss. Either the Bismarck or the Charles Martel had hydro, so they are going to at least void that. Now the enemy team, which is very surprising, are actually on the exact same footing as us. They have the exact same amount of ships as us. The only major difference is we don't have any of our major battleships. All our tier 8s died. We only have our Monarch, while their destroyers are all gone with quite a few of their cruisers. So you can kind of see the difference. That is definitely not in their favor because we do have more destroyers than they do. versus battleships. So that is something to keep in mind. I am dropping smoke in an attempt to at least help the Mogami, because there is the fact that this Richelieu is starting to come around the corner, and want to at least minimize any potential damage coming towards that Mogami. Unfortunately, the Mogami is just kind of so straight. Now, honestly, the smoke screen on the Ognevoi isn't great. It's not an American smoke screen, but it doesn't, or isn't, very often that you're going to be using your smoke screen in at least majority of your battles. You're going to be trying to at least keep some distance to minimize any potential damage coming in from enemy destroyers. So I usually find myself still holding on to quite a few smoke screens, especially late in the battle. So I do try to at least assist players with my smoke screen, try to allow them to use it, because it is a major benefit for them, because obviously they can fire from it without being detected. I mean, the usual idea behind smoke screens. So I am going to at least rush towards A, and surprisingly, our 3-man division have somehow managed to take out the enemy turrets. Really comes down to the fact that they took out the enemy destroyers and are just now focusing down this turrets. When I don't know what is going to happen with this Benson. Now, I don't know if the Benson just used his torpedoes, missed the turrets, or what, because the Benson has this brilliant idea of, well, becoming a torpedo himself and actually ram the turrets, which the turrets gets diehard, which is funny. Obviously, probably cause flooding for that turrets. So that is at least going to assist on taking him out. Now, one thing I would love replays to do sometimes is allow me the opportunity to see the entirety of the battle, because I'm really curious how much health that turrets has now. Fortunately for us, we're actually going to get a torp here and actually take out the enemy Richelieu. So even though the enemy team had superiority, we're once again back on even footing, which is really nice, and we're actually very much in a commanding lead. We have 2 caps. We're at 898, and we're currently in the attempt of flipping A. Now, honestly, all we have to do right now is quite literally nothing. Once we capture A, the enemy team is just so far away from any caps to do anything really to do anything with them. The only hope that they have is to take out one of our ships. All that's left is a Mogami and our 2 destroyers. And honestly, if the Mogami just ceased fire, he'd be fine. He doesn't even need to fire. This is just allowing that Charles Martel an attempt to at least kill him. So maybe not the best idea. I am at least going to try to get down there and offer my smoke screen, but in essence it's essentially futile, because in either 30 seconds or in 40 seconds the match is going to end in our favor. So overall, not a bad battle. My real point of this video is just this 3-man destroyer division that almost cost us the game just by wolfpacking. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.